Education in India. Page 2. 1.1 Education in India, the current state of affairs. Education initiatives in India have been guided by much deliberated principles to achieve outcomes that are crucial for progress. Many innovative education initiatives have been undertaken in the past and have contributed to positive shifts irrespective of the complexity of the implementation. The focus has essentially been on making education universally available while ensuring a strong foundation at the primary level. Designing child-friendly spaces which allow children to thrive and grow into well-adjusted, confident adults has been in practice. Structures that serve to help learners gauge their progress while looking at teachers as facilitators and creating a collaborative atmosphere proved to be effective. The role of teachers has no doubt emerged as an essential factor that can transform the landscape of the education system around and energize the system to meet the challenges of balancing out quality, access, and equity. According to the provisional data from the UDISC, India has approximately 95 lakh teachers in its schools, which include permanent, contractual, and para-teachers, Shiksha Mitra and Niyojit Shikshak. The competence and character of teachers play a crucial role in determining the quality of education and its contribution to national development. The NEP 2020 has emphasized on continuous professional development and training of teachers. This includes drafting of National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education (NCFTE) to guide various aspects of teacher education programs. The enculturation of teacher empowerment will also be given due importance, which essentially entails giving teachers the right to participate in setting school goals and policies and to use their professional judgment over what and how to teach. Figure 1.1 Education in India. The National Education Policy, Universal Quality Education, Lifelong Learning. Sustainable Development Goal 4, improving access to affordable and quality education, eliminating discrimination in education, attainment of literacy and numeracy. Samagra Shiksha and the Nipun Bharat, achieving universal quality education for all students, nutritional support, higher education, teacher training, units for digital learning, infrastructure and capacity building. Page 3. The NEP 2020 and SDG 4 of the United Nations share the goals of universal quality education and lifelong learning. Further, SDG 4 focuses on improving access to affordable and quality education, eliminating discrimination in education, and attainment of foundational literacy and numeracy. The flagship schemes of the Indian government, Samagra Shiksha and the Nipun Bharat, aim at achieving universal quality education for all students. Targeted schemes on nutritional support, higher education, and teacher education complement this effort. Resources are being directed into setting up units for digital learning, infrastructure, and capacity building to eliminate hurdles at the infrastructure level. Digital resources were the educational lifeline during the school closures, and the pandemic forced the ecosystem to quickly adapt to teaching learning online. The potential provided by digital technologies went well beyond serving as a temporary solution during the pandemic. This enabled educators, leaders, and the community as a whole to evolve their understanding of what, how, when, and where people learn. The role of educators, from imparting knowledge to being as co-creators of knowledge, guides, mentors, and evaluators, emerged. 1.2 Role of teacher. With students at the center, the responsibility of achieving learning outcomes generally lies on teachers. They also play a crucial role in defining the cultural essence of the school or the schools in their geography. They have to continually shift their focus from a reactive to a more proactive, strategic response to any challenges. The most commonly articulated expectation is to facilitate constructive change and effectively manage the shifts that result from bringing that change. Teachers play a crucial role in the teaching-learning process given the structures, policies, boards or practices followed in the school. Figure 1.2 Role of Teacher. Facilitate change and effectively manage the shifts that emerge with change facilitation. Provide sustained support for teacher development, strengthen teaching-learning practices, proactive strategic response to future challenges, establish norms for continuous quality improvement, inclusive teaching-learning process, create a collaborative learning organization, define the cultural essence of their school. Page 4. Experiences from challenges in the past reaffirm the need for continuous learning and skill building. Several initiatives in the past have been launched that focus on capacity building and continuous professional development of teachers. Despite these multiple structures that enable the scope of continuous learning and development, there are still some challenges that our teachers continue facing that act as barriers to decentralized and contextual capacity building. 1.3 Complex and emerging challenges. Learning opportunities for teachers have been designed and prescribed as per the requirements that emerged over the period. However, very few times they get the opportunity to choose discussions, sessions, or learning circles as part of their professional development. Expertise within communities has existed in silos which have made it difficult to leverage it in the best way. The teachers who are interested in learning belong to different and diverse contexts. Therefore, it has been difficult, even for those facing similar difficulties, to work together, discuss and develop their expertise to solve the problem. One feels isolated and demotivated when trying to handle difficult, novel and constantly evolving issues, which ultimately makes the situation more complicated. The pandemic has reinforced the importance of a vibrant community that consistently shares learnings, experiences, challenges and solutions to navigate common concerns. At times, teachers experience delays and lags in arriving at solutions for the challenges they face. These lags primarily occur because teachers are unaware of how to access platforms, technology, or experts that might be able to provide specific support. Teachers take up multiple responsibilities as part of their roles. Managing time for capacity and professional development while balancing tasks that their roles demand becomes extremely challenging, especially when their physical presence is required. 1.4 Relevance and Context. The need for professional development of teachers across geographies, roles and domains may vary based on their context, challenges and interests. Therefore, each teacher might seek a different mode of orientation and networking to resolve their problems. Some teachers prefer learning directly from peers, while others connect with a large pool of community facing similar challenges. In some situations, expert opinion enables them to find the solution. Therefore, a platform is necessary for the same, where the teachers can receive professional support. 1.5 The National Education Policy 2020 Vision for Mentoring. The NEP 2020 proposes to revamp all aspects of the education structure in alignment with SDG 4 of quality education. Note number 1. Ministry of Human Resource Development 2020 July 29 National Education Policy 2020 Government of India. It proposes mentoring as a solution at various levels to improve the quality of outcomes. Page 5. 1.5.1 for students. In an effort to curtail school dropout rates and ensure access to education for all, school students will be mentored by alumni and community members, which will lead to enhanced learning outcomes and sustained interest. 1.5.2 for teachers. The NEP 2020 has recognized the process of teacher preparation as requiring, quote, multidisciplinary perspectives and knowledge, formation of dispositions and values, and development of practice under the best mentors, unquote. Note number 2. Ministry of Human Resource Development, 2020, July 29, National Education Policy 2020, Government of India. Therefore, it proposes mentoring as an accessory to teacher development across the board. A. It suggests establishing a mentoring structure for ECCE teachers in Anganwadis or Balvatikas by the cluster resource centers of the school education department, along with monthly meetings for continuous assessment. In a longer-term proposal for preparing professionally qualified ECCE educators, a combination of professional training, mentoring mechanisms, and career mapping would be used. B. A suitable, robust mentoring arrangement would be put in place for in-service training teachers, in addition to practicum training, and for in-service teachers aiming to enhance their qualifications. C. A national mission for mentoring would be established to provide long-term professional support to teachers, facilitated by a pool of outstanding professionals. 1.5.3 for school leaders. It suggests mentoring structures for the capacity building of the educational leaders as pedagogical heads to manage the teaching-learning process, establish norms for continuous quality improvement, provide sustained support for teacher development, and also create a collaborative learning organization. 1.5.4 for educational leaders and institutions. The NEP 2020 emphasizes the need for mentoring across educational institutions by involving educational leadership. The primary focus of the NEP 2020 for higher educational institutions was their restructuring and consolidation through mentoring towards effective governance and better leadership. Page 6. A. To promote a culture of empowerment and autonomous innovation within higher education institutions, a graded accreditation granting mechanism will be established for which colleges will be mentored to level up on benchmarks. Each university will mentor its affiliated colleges to help them develop capabilities in academic and curricular matters, teaching and assessment, governance reforms, financial robustness, and administrative efficiency to eventually transition to autonomous degree-granting colleges. B. Additionally, one of the primary roles of the NRF will be to mentor academic institutions to catalyze quality academic research in all fields. In addition to the recommendations offered by the NEP 2020, there is immense scope for establishing mentoring structures for various purposes across the education ecosystem in India. The wealth of knowledge and expertise possessed by various stakeholders can be utilized to disseminate information and guidance effectively and efficiently across the different cadres of the education ecosystem.